What if every conversation you can't stop replaying is your brain trying to tell you something, but you've been listening to the wrong message? What if those embarrassing moments, awkward silences, and words you wish you could take back aren't signs that something is wrong with you, but clues to how your mind is trying to protect you? Have you ever found yourself lying awake at night, replaying a conversation from days, weeks, or even years ago? You think about what you should have said, what you shouldn't have said, and somehow, the conversation feels even more real than it did when it actually happened. Meanwhile, the other person has probably forgotten it completely. So why can't your brain let it go? Why does one awkward sentence stay trapped in your mind while hundreds of good conversations disappear without a trace? The answer has very little to do with memory. It has everything to do with the hidden psychology of your brain. By the end of this video, you'll discover the surprising psychological reasons your mind keeps replaying certain conversations, why some people experience this far more than others, and the final reason that could completely change the way you understand your own thoughts. Let's begin with the first hidden reason, because it's far more surprising than most people realize. Most people believe they replay conversations because they overthink, but psychologists suggest something much deeper is happening beneath the surface. Your brain doesn't replay every conversation you've ever had. It replays the ones that feel emotionally unfinished. Imagine reading a mystery novel, then discovering the last chapter has been ripped out. You wouldn't stop thinking about how it ends. Your brain treats certain conversations the same way. When an interaction ends with confusion, mixed signals, or unanswered questions, your mind refuses to file it away as complete. Instead, it quietly labels it unfinished. That's when the replay begins. Maybe someone suddenly changed their tone. Maybe they looked disappointed for a split second. Maybe they stopped replying without any explanation. Or maybe they said something that sounded harmless, but left you wondering what they really meant. Your conscious mind wants to move on, but another part of your brain keeps asking, what did I miss? Did I say something wrong? What were they really thinking? And every time those questions return, your brain plays the conversation again, hoping that this time it will finally find the missing answer. The strange part is that the answer almost never appears. Instead, every replay makes the conversation feel even more important than it really was. Psychologists often refer to this as the search for closure. The human brain naturally dislikes uncertainty. In many situations, it would rather imagine 10 different explanations than accept not knowing the truth. That's why a 5-minute conversation can stay in your mind for months. Not because the conversation itself was extraordinary, but because your brain never received a satisfying ending. And then something even more surprising begins to happen. The memory slowly starts to change. Most people think memory works like a video recording. It doesn't. Every time you remember an event, your brain rebuilds it using your current emotions, beliefs, and fears. Without realizing it, you begin adding details that were never there. You imagine different facial expressions, different tones of voice, different reactions. Your regrets write new dialogue. Your anxiety invents new possibilities, little by little. You're no longer remembering what actually happened. You're remembering the story your emotions have created. That's why two people can walk away from the exact same conversation, yet remember it in completely different ways, because the brain remembers emotional meaning far more strongly than exact words. But this still doesn't explain the biggest question. Why do some people replay conversations constantly, while others forget them almost immediately? The answer lies much deeper inside your personality, and that's where the next psychological reason changes everything. Here's where the psychology becomes even more fascinating. Have you ever noticed that two people can experience the exact same conversation, yet only one of them keeps thinking about it for weeks? That isn't a coincidence. It's the way their brain processes emotions. Some people naturally move on from social interactions within minutes. Others instinctively analyze every detail long after the conversation has ended. If you're highly self-aware, emotionally sensitive, or naturally observant, your brain collects far more information than you consciously realize. You don't just hear the words someone says. You notice the hesitation before they answer, The slight change in their facial expression, the pause that lasted just a little too long, the smile that didn't quite reach their eyes. And without realizing it, your mind begins connecting those tiny details together. This ability can make you incredibly perceptive. You often notice patterns that other people completely miss, but it also comes with a hidden cost. Because when your brain sees more, it also has more to analyze. That's why intelligent, reflective, and emotionally aware people often replay conversations more than others. Not because they're weak, not because they're socially awkward, but because their brains naturally search for meaning, consistency, and emotional truth. They don't simply ask, "What happened?" They ask, "Why did it happen? What were they really feeling? What didn't they say?" The problem is, not every conversation has a hidden answer. Some people send mixed signals because they're confused themselves. Some people react emotionally without thinking. And some conversations simply end without closure. Yet your brain keeps searching anyway, believing that one more replay might finally reveal the missing piece. But here's the truth most people never hear. The answer you're searching for usually isn't hidden inside the conversation. It's hidden inside the emotion that conversation awakened within you. Maybe it exposed a fear of rejection. Maybe it touched an old insecurity you've carried for years. Maybe it challenged the way you see yourself. Or maybe it reminded you of a wound that never fully healed. That's why two people can hear the exact same criticism and respond in completely different ways. One person forgets it before the day is over. The other remembers it for years. The difference isn't the words, it's the emotional meaning attached to those words. And once you understand that, you stop asking, "Why can't I forget this conversation?" And you begin asking, "Why did this conversation affect me so deeply?" That single shift changes everything, because you're no longer chasing answers from other people. You're beginning to understand yourself. If you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to subscribe to Sinova Theory and turn on notifications. Every week we uncover the hidden psychological patterns that quietly shape the way you think, feel, and behave. But the final reason your brain keeps replaying conversations is the one almost nobody talks about. And once you understand it, you may never look at your own thoughts the same way again. Here's the truth that changes everything. Your brain isn't replaying those conversations because it wants you to come up with the perfect response. It's replaying them because it's trying to help you become a wiser version of yourself. Every difficult conversation leaves behind something far more valuable than the words that were spoken. It leaves behind a lesson. The problem is, most people become trapped inside the conversation itself. They keep asking, "What should I have said? Why didn't I think of that in the moment? How could I have handled it differently?" But those questions rarely bring peace. They only keep the mental replay alive. The real question is very different. What was this experience trying to teach me? Maybe it was teaching you to set healthier boundaries. Maybe it was teaching you to stop chasing approval from people who never intended to understand you. Maybe it was teaching you that not every misunderstanding is your responsibility to fix. Or maybe it was teaching you that your peace of mind is more valuable than winning every conversation. This is what psychologists call emotional processing. Healing doesn't happen because you erase painful memories. Healing happens when those memories stop controlling your emotions. The conversation doesn't disappear.